Picture this. You're 16 years old, standing on the first tee at a professional golf tournament. The crowd's watching, the cameras are rolling, and you're about to compete against guys who've been doing this for decades. Most teenagers would crumble under that pressure, right? But not Rory McIlroy. This kid from Northern Ireland didn't just survive that moment, he thrived. And what happened next? Well, it changed the face of golf forever. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most incredible rise to stardom stories in sports. From a 2-year-old swinging plastic clubs in his backyard to becoming one of golf's biggest global superstars. This is the Rory McIlroy story. So let's rewind to 1989. Rory McIlroy is born in Holywood, Northern Ireland. And no, not the Hollywood with the movie stars, but a small town where everyone knows everyone. His dad, Jerry, was a scratch golfer, basically really good. And his mom, Rosie, worked multiple jobs to keep the family afloat. They weren't wealthy by any stretch, but they had something more valuable. They believed in their kid. Here's where it gets crazy. Rory picks up his first golf club at age 2. Not a real one, mind you. We're talking plastic toys. But even then, something was different. While other toddlers were, being toddlers, Rory was obsessing over his swing. By age 7, he's already shooting in the 40s for 9 holes. Think about that for a second. Most adults struggle to break 50, and this kid's doing it before he loses his baby teeth. But here's what really blew everyone's mind. At 15 years old, Rory was already driving the ball 300 yards. Can you imagine being 15 and already out driving the pros? The kid was a walking highlight reel. His parents saw something special, and they made a massive sacrifice. They refinanced their house, literally bet their home on their son's talent. Talk about pressure, right? But Rory, he just kept swinging. So 2007 rolls around, and 18-year-old Rory makes the leap. He turns professional. Now, most people his age are figuring out college majors, but Rory's stepping into the big leagues. And let me tell you, it wasn't all sunshine and birdies at first. The European tour is brutal. These are seasoned veterans who've been grinding for years, and here comes this baby-faced kid from Northern Ireland thinking he belongs. His first few tournaments, pretty rough. He missed cuts, struggled with nerves, and probably wondered if he'd made a huge mistake. I mean, imagine carrying the weight of your family's financial future on your shoulders at 18. That's insane pressure. But then, something clicked. Maybe it was the experience. Maybe it was just growing up fast. But Rory started finding his rhythm. He began making cuts consistently, earning decent money, and more importantly, he was learning what it took to compete at the highest level. The breakthrough moment came quicker than anyone expected. In 2009, just 2 years after turning pro, he wins his first European Tour event at the Dubai Desert Classic. And he didn't just win, he demolished the field by 4 shots. That victory? That was the moment the golf world sat up and said, okay, this kid isn't just hype, he's the real deal. Now we're getting to the good stuff. 2010 and 2011 were like watching a masterclass in golf dominance. Rory wasn't just winning, he was rewriting the record books. His first PGA Tour win came at the 2010 Wells Fargo Championship. And man, was it dramatic. He's in a playoff against some serious competition, and this 21-year-old just delivers, ice cold under pressure. But 2011, that's when Rory announced himself to the world, the US Open at Congressional Country Club. You want to talk about a statement win? This tournament was supposed to be a grind. Congressional was playing tough, the rough was thick, and everyone expected a battle of attrition. Instead, Rory turned it into his personal highlight reel. He shot 65 in the first round, then 66. By the weekend, he wasn't just leading, he was lapping the field. His final round? A casual 69 to win by 8 shots. 8 at a major championship. What made it even more incredible was how effortless he made it look. While everyone else was grinding, Rory was out there playing a completely different sport. His swing was smooth as silk, his putting was lights out, and his confidence through the roof. At 22 years old, he became the youngest US Open winner since 1923. Let that sink in. 1,923 factorial. We're talking about breaking records that had stood for nearly 90 years. But Rory was just getting started. The 2012 PGA Championship at Kiawah Island, now that was pure theater. Going into the final round, he's trailing by 1 shot. The ocean course is playing brutal with winds howling off the Atlantic. This is where champions are made and pretenders get exposed. And Rory, He went out and shot 66 in some of the toughest conditions you'll ever see in professional golf. He won by 8 shots again. 8! It was like watching someone play a video game on easy mode. Then came 2014, and this is where things get absolutely wild. In the span of just over a month, Rory wins both the Open Championship and the PGA Championship, back-to-back majors in his age 24 season. The Open at Royal Liverpool was poetry in motion. Rory led wire to wire, and by Sunday, it wasn't even close. He's standing on the 18th green, arms raised, soaking in the cheers from the British crowd. At 25, he was already being mentioned with golf's all-time greats. The PGA Championship 3 weeks later, more of the same dominance. By this point, people weren't just talking about Rory as a great player. They were talking about him as the future face of golf. 4 major championships before his 26th birthday. To put that in perspective, guys like Phil Mickelson didn't win their first major until they were 33. Rory was collecting them like Pokemon cards. But here's where the story takes a turn. Because success in golf is never a straight line, is it? After 2014, something weird happened. The wind started drying up. Not completely, Rory was still playing great golf, but those dominant performances became rare. The majors especially became elusive. People started asking questions. Was the pressure getting to him? Had the game figured him out? Some critics even suggested he was more focused on his off-course ventures than his golf. I mean, the guy was making headlines for everything from his fitness regime to his business deals. And then there were the injuries. Rory's always been known for his aggressive, athletic swing, but that power came with a cost. Rib injuries, back problems. His body was paying the price for all that clubhead speed. Despite all that, though, Rory never stopped believing, and neither did his fans. Because here's the thing about true champions. They don't stay down. The comeback wasn't instant or dramatic. It was gradual, methodical. He started contending in big tournaments again. His putting, which had been shaky for years, suddenly looked sharp again. And that signature power? Still there. 2019 brought validation. The Players' Championship, often called the 5th major, Rory dominated it. Then later that year, he captured the FedEx Cup, golf's season-long points championship, with one of the most clutch performances you'll ever see. The drought wasn't completely over. He's still chasing that 5th major. But Rory was back to being Rory, and that was enough to remind everyone why he's special. But here's what makes Rory's story even more compelling. It's not just about the golf. This guy has become so much more than a player. He's become golf's global ambassador. Think about it. Golf has always struggled with its image, right? Country club sport, exclusive, maybe a little stuffy. Then along comes this charismatic kid from Northern Ireland who's just different. He's relatable. He's funny. He actually seems like someone you'd want to grab a beer with. Rory's social media presence isn't manufactured PR speak. It's genuine. He shows his personality, his humor, his struggles. When he posts a video of himself hitting bombs on the range, you can feel his passion for the game jumping through the screen. And his influence goes way beyond social media. He's been vocal about growing the game, making it more accessible, attracting younger fans. The guy genuinely cares about golf's future, not just his own legacy. Plus, let's be honest, he's appointment television. When Rory's in contention on Sunday, casual fans tune in. He brings excitement to the game in a way that few players can. So, where does that leave us with Rory McIlroy in 2024? Well, at 35, he's still one of the best players in the world, still chasing that elusive 5th major, still captivating audiences every time he tees it up. But his legacy? That's already secure. Because Rory's impact on golf goes way beyond trophies and prize money. He showed an entire generation of young golfers that you don't have to fit a certain mold to succeed. You can be yourself, quirky, passionate, human, and still reach the pinnacle of your sport. He proved that golf could be exciting, that it could attract new audiences, that it could evolve while still respecting its traditions. And maybe most importantly, he showed us that success isn't just measured by what you accomplish, but by how you handle both triumph and adversity. Rory's had his share of both, and he's handled them with a grace and authenticity that's rare in professional sports. Look, whether Rory wins another major or not, and I personally think he will, his place in golf history is already cemented. He's inspired countless kids to pick up clubs. He's brought new fans to the game. He's been a role model both on and off the course. From that 2-year-old swinging plastic clubs in Northern Ireland to becoming one of golf's biggest global superstars. That's a pretty incredible journey, isn't it? And here's the best part, his story's still being written. Every time Rory steps onto a tee, there's still that possibility of magic. And honestly, that's what makes sports so beautiful. Thanks for watching, and remember, whether you're chasing birdies on the golf course or chasing dreams in your own life, sometimes the most inspiring journeys are the ones that aren't perfect. They're the ones that are beautifully, authentically human.